Hello all you Star Citizens out there, this is Shoas with the Aerial Heights gaming community, and today I've got another Star Citizen update for you guys. So over the weekend, the holiday weekend, there was a Veterans Day sale, and I wanted an excuse to pick up a Hornet, and I got one. For a limited time, to support military charities, Robert Space Industries and Cloud Imperium released a $20 package you could buy for your Hornet. And it doesn't matter what Hornet you had, the base model, the stealth variant, the Hornet Weekend Warrior, Super Hornet, or the SWAX, the AWACS Hornet. What this $20 pack would do, it's not implemented at the moment, but it will make your Hornet look exactly like the military variant of the Hornet from the Star Citizen Squadron 42 campaign, excuse me. Now, they had never ever planned for the Squadron 42 Hornet to be available in either looks or the actual thing to be available to the wider player base outside of the campaign, because it's a military vessel, it is a militarily equipped vessel, it is equipped with stuff you can't get in the Star Citizen universe. Even if you are a veteran soldier of the campaign and have your citizenship, it is really tough. So they released a $20 package. They never intended for this to be released, but it won't give you any of the hard points, doesn't change the stats, but it will make your Hornet look exactly like the Hornet from the campaign. Now, this is something never planned to do. I mean, it's not like they're game-breaking and giving you a Super Hornet that will waste all the other fighters out there, but it will look exactly like it, and they never planned for that model of Hornet to be out in space. But to support military charities, 50% of all the proceeds from people buying the $20 package will go to a military charity. Now, as you can see here, my hangar is smaller now. The reason is because I had a bunch of ships, and I felt like I love this game and I love supporting it, but I felt like my hangar was getting really crowded and that I was buying more ships. It was basically eye candy. I was buying more ships than I needed. And luckily for all you Star Citizens out there, if you guys pledge for a ship, you guys can exchange a ship or a package for... You can't get your money back, but you can get credit on the website. If you buy a $75 ship, you can melt it after 24 hours for a $75 store credit. And if you don't like that you melted it, you can go right back and buy the same package again. Although, like towards the end of, I don't know when it is, but towards the end of this, the lifetime insurance, which is if you buy the ship, you get insurance for life. You don't have to pay for this. It's the same insurance that you get in the game, but you don't have to pay for it. Every couple of months or so, that might go away. And if they release a ship that doesn't have lifetime insurance anymore, and you melt it and then rebuy it, you will then lose the lifetime insurance, but you'll get the ship back. But I cannot melt my Aurora package because my Aurora shut up Skype. My Aurora is tied to my in-game package that gives me alpha and beta access. So if I melt it, I have to buy another package. Otherwise, I won't have alpha and beta access. Plus, if I melt my package, I will lose veteran backer status, which is you back the project before a certain date, so I'll lose that. So I can't melt my Aurora. I cannot get rid of my Aurora, but I didn't want to. My Aurora is going to be my trusty steed, who will be there when my other ships can't fill the void. So I'm keeping the Aurora. I decided to keep the Avenger, because this is my baby. I looked forward to this ship. I love this ship. I mean, I haven't flown it yet, so I can't tell you if it's any good to fly or not. But I love this vessel. It's old. It's rugged. It's the underdog, and I can't wait to go kick people in their brand new shiny spaceship's asses with it to show that old school still rules. I kept the Cutlass because the Cutlass is just cool. There's room for upgrades. And I want to make a living kind of in the gray area of space, either as a mercenary or a bounty hunter, or maybe doing light piracy. But I want to make my living outside of UEE-controlled space, so I figured the Cutlass would be good. It's a little bit more robust than the Freelancer, but it doesn't have the maneuverability. Plus, it's more of a salvaging ship. It doesn't have the cargo capacity of the Freelancer. I think this is 10 tons, and the Freelancer was 30, but the Freelancer doubled as a long-range transport, where this is kind of an armored transport. The Freelancer is designed to maybe outrun and defend itself a little bit. This one's designed to stand up and fight, and that's what I liked more about it, because I plan to go into parts of space that will require me to stand up and fight, and I figure that one two-person vessel is enough. And as you can see, I traded in my Freelancer and my 325A and the Aurora dogfighting variant, because I still have my Avenger, for the Hornet. And I didn't need a dogfighter now that I've got a Hornet. This is the F7C base model. I went back later and I picked up the $40 upgrade to the SWACs, the AWACS, which basically means that there is, in the center of this thing, up at the top, there where the ball turret would go if it was the military version, or if you got the Weekend Warrior pack where you got a couple of weaker ball turrets. I think they're weaker than the actual ball turrets you get in the game. Or I think the ball turrets have to be manned is what it is. It will replace that and take away my only 2 tons of cargo space, which isn't much, but you can probably put some high-priced cargo in this thing and use this Hornet to defend it with. That might be cool. But it will replace it with a radar dish. And I've got it, but the packages, the upgrade packages, which is if you buy a base model Origin 300i for $55, or you buy the $110 F7C Hornet, which this is, and you decide, I want the AWACS Hornet or the Stealth Hornet, the base models, when the game comes out, you can buy all those things that make those Hornets what they are in-game. But if you want a Stealth Fighter, or you want an Explorer, or an AWACS, or you want an Explorer, or you want a fighter, and you know you want it, and you know you want it when the game launches, you can drop a bit of extra cash and grab the variants as they come out. And again, there are multiple parts, there are different guns you can put on and stuff, but you can go ahead and get something that's kind of kitted out how you want it if you know what you want to be doing. For those of us who want an open kind of platform, you're going to stick with the base model, which is basically you get the frame and how it comes by default, the factory standard, and then you'll upgrade it. But you can't see it. As soon as it comes out, I'll show you the radar dish that's on top. And the radar dish, this thing is going to kind of take over where the Freelancer was. The radar dish can be used for exploration and navigating jump points to find different systems that are unexplored. It can also be used as an actual AWACS in large-scale engagements. If you're with a whole bunch of fighters or a couple of capital ships, the AWACS Hornet can be used as sort of an extension of the radar and digital signals that the sensors that are used by other ships. So you can kind of be an extended eyes in the sky, which means you'll kind of hang back and not be in the fight a lot, but you will provide a very important service where you can provide radar information far out into the front line where the capital ships might not want to go due to enemy fire or the presence of enemy ships that will roll over your capital ships, like the Retaliator, which I've also picked up. I do have the Retaliator, guys. It's not in the game, but as soon as it comes out, I'll show it to you. The Retaliator, which you can see right here, is a long-range heavy bomber. It is smaller than the Connie, but it weighs way heavier than both the Connie and the Drake Drake Caterpillar. And it's got 30 tons of cargo space, but most of that is due to the fact that the whole point of this ship is to carry big torpedoes that will be used to skewer larger ships. It can really hit above its weight class. It really doesn't have any weapons that the pilot control. I think almost all of the guns, according to the hardpoints, are manned turrets that have to be manned by different crew members, and it has a crew of 6, which is double the 3 standard for the Connie, 4 if you have the guy who's going to pilot the optional Merlin you can stick in the back. But I liked it, it's cool. However, because of the stretch goals we have surpassed, we are going to get a destroyer class, a battlecruiser class, and an escort class carrier, which is going to serve the purpose of a small bingo carrier. Also confirmed, guys, if you don't know, in an interview, Chris Roberts said that every single server will have one bingo carrier that can be taken or stolen, and that's how you get it. Other than that, there will be no bingo carriers available. So if you guys want a bingo, that's what you got to do. You got to be organized and you got to be on top of your game to take it, because it's going to be packed full of ships. But basically, if they do a limited sale of the destroyer, which is what they did for the Idris, where they only sold 300 Idrises, first come first serve, so that when the game comes out, everyone just wouldn't have an Idris and it would be overpowered. The only other way to get an Idris is if you pay like the $1,000 for one of the pledge packages. But this is the Hornet. I picked this bad boy up because I wanted one, and it supported our military troops, so it gave me a reason. And it's going to be my Explorer now. And if I remember correctly, the cockpit here is dead sexy. Yes, it is. My goodness, look at that. The color scheme kind of reminds me of Ashley Williams' suit from Mass Effect. But the cockpit is gorgeous. As you can see, some of the animations there weren't synced up all the way. The stick moves, and I've broken my wrist apparently. That's supposed to be the throttle. The stick moves, but that's about it. The pedals don't move, or I'm not pressing the right keys to get the pedal to work. My wrist is broken. Now, usually these little pads on each side of me would come up, and you could mess with them, and it would show different screens and stuff, and you could kind of fiddle with them. But that hasn't been animated in yet. But the cockpit is beautiful. I mean, it doesn't have the best view. I think the Aurora still has the best cockpit, but this cockpit just, I don't know, the Avenger and the Hornet cockpit kind of give me more of a feeling of complete view than the Origin 300 cockpit, or the Freelancer's cockpit for that matter, which everyone's complained about. It's a beautiful looking vessel. There's some thrusters around it. That big space in the back is where the cargo will go. There's an elevator. I can't activate it, but there's an elevator that'll come down from the bottom, and you can just put a cargo crate or whatever on there and lift it back up. And there's two massive vents where this thing can just suck in fuel. And as soon as I can, I'm going to get those... There's my butt. And as soon as I can, I'm going to get those laser Gatling guns on the side replaced with physical Gatling guns, because I like the idea of this thing's got to have real Gatling guns. This thing's got to use ammunition. But anyway, guys, this was just an update. I just wanted to show you the Hornet I got and the fact that I was really glad that they did this. It was a cool way to support the military charities, and I'm really glad for it. I can't wait to see other cool things like that pop up. They'll probably be... I mean, I'm going to keep my eye out, because there are probably a bunch of things that you can pick up if you want to pay a little bit of money and support them that won't be available either for a very long time or maybe ever again when the game comes out. But if you're a police officer or you served in the military, I mean, thank you for your service. Thank you for going out there and taking bullets every day. Thank you so much. We thank you for your service. You've done so much. We can never thank you enough. And I hope that this little bit of what I've contributed can help somebody out. I've been Shoas with the Arrowheads game community. Thank you all for watching.